Trigger warning, if you think you'll feel invalidated if your understanding of ADHD or autism are questioned, proceed with caution. Fresh off the heels of my vicious comments in autism and gaslighting trauma video, it's come to my attention that a lot of autistic people out there don't appreciate hearing ADHDers say they experience the typically autistic trait of sensory issues. Even going as far as to say that if they don't see this as proof they have autism, they're exhibiting ableism. Of course, I think this is a huge problem, but I want to start by saying, I get it. We've had our experience of reality invalidated for most of our lives, and once we find out it's autism, we finally have an explanation. So if someone who doesn't have autism says that they have sensory needs, we feel like the terminology that validated us loses its meaning. We think if we have a sensory-related meltdown, why would people feel compassion for us if there are other people saying they have sensory needs that seem to get along just fine? While my sensory needs are pretty tame compared to most autistic people, I grapple with these exact same feelings in regards to PDA autism. It's the Tony Stark autism. It's why I'm so goddamn charming. Demand avoidance is a trait of many neurodivergent people, but autism with a PDA profile is on another level. My nervous system responds to demands like an impending physical threat, so I really struggle to make a living. I've tried having jobs, gigging, starting my own business, but surviving our economy requires grappling with way more demands than my nervous system can handle. Now I make content on my own schedule, but I can't monetize it with sponsorships, in part because being told what to say on camera would trigger my PDA. I survive on donations, mostly because I was insanely lucky enough to connect with a PDAer of means who understands what living with this is like. But I don't want to put this much responsibility on them forever, so please consider donating. So yeah, when I see people who say they have PDA, who succeed with their jobs or their businesses, and who can stick to any disciplined endeavor whatsoever, I resent it. And my nervous system lights up like a Christmas tree because I feel like if people with jobs claim PDA, no one will take me seriously if I say my PDA interferes with my ability to work. The PDA identity keeps my shame at bay in a society that dismisses people like me as lazy, defiant, and entitled. If Tony Stark weren't a billionaire superhero, people would just think he was a dick. But the truth is, if I need PDA to exclusively mirror my exact situation for me to feel valid, that is the real problem. As hard as it is, I recognize having that mentality is no different than the parents of nonverbal, highly behavioral autistic kids who attack our community for claiming we could possibly have the same condition their kids do. Telling an ADHDer without autism that if they have sensory needs, they're in denial of their autism is like telling a woman that if she has a penis, she's in denial that she's a man. In both cases, we're making nasty claims about a person we have no right to make because they won't fit properly into the paradigm we're comfortable with. Not to mention, calling an ADHDer with sensory needs an ableist is an ugly thing to do. Imagine just for a moment that this is truly just a fellow neurodivergent person, being vulnerable about something they struggle with, sharing their authentic truth with the community they expect to embrace them. And our response is to slap them with an ugly term we generally apply to our enemies. Let's all be better than that. As a community, we desperately need to redefine our purposes for these labels and diagnoses. They are not for validating us. We are valid regardless. Our needs, our pain, our struggles, our opinions, our boundaries, all valid by default. You can just be a person with sensory needs, with no diagnosis at all. Diagnosis and labels serve one functional purpose: connecting with the appropriate community and support. That's it. All the research and the science involved is done to that end, not to give us a permission slip for our own needs. And how we apply that research to meet our needs is our own damn business. If autistic support improves your life, your autism is valid. If ADHD support improves your life, your ADHD is valid. And if support for sensory needs improves your life, then congrats, you have sensory needs. If we find the way someone describes their experience triggering, it serves us individually and as a community to listen to their story with an attitude of compassion and curiosity, not to violate them with ideas we find more convenient. This is hard. We live in a challenging time, so let's rise to it.